Hey, Mister here with a bit of a reaction to this trailer. Now, I'll just let the trailer run in the background while the sound's down. You can read the text below if you like. I've got the captions on. If you want to see the trailer with the full sound and everything, links in the description below as well. So basically, this is a movie being released by Netflix on the 27th of September, and it appears to be a bit of a time traveling story where a bunch of bodies appear. They've all got a wound on the back of their neck. They appear in multiple places in the city all at the same time, which means either more than one killer or one killer who can travel very, very fast all over the city. Somehow a police officer manages to track them down, follow them. The person, the suspect, the POI, the POI, knows this police officer's name, and following that confrontation ends up falling backwards into a train, which is very interesting. And I suppose there is no body because they don't find a body. Then 9 years later, another bunch of bodies appear, all with the same mark. And, maybe it's time travel or things like that. That's basically the premise that goes on, because this woman doesn't seem to have aged in the 9 years, although I suppose the main character doesn't look like he's aged too much either. Just have him with a little bit of a hairstyle and you can change things up pretty well. So that's the premise of the movie. She basically tells the copper, don't follow me because the future of our world depends on it, which must mean she's got some knowledge of the future. Now, whether she's from the future or whether she's from a secret past who is controlling the future of mankind, in other words, has gone to the future, seen an outcome, and then come back in time to try and rectify what might have resulted in the death of all humanity. Not going to know, have to watch the movie, and it is a movie. So that is pretty well what this flick is about. Now, the thing is that this movie has reminded me of two other films, not films. It's called In the Shadow of the Moon. Possibly that might tell us something. Is the Earth living in the shadow of the moon? Are the people being killed people that do something to stop a moon? Whatever. Have to watch the movie. Okay, two books. Let me rephrase that. Two authors' works spring to mind, and one movie comes to mind with this movie. Now, the first book is Dean Koontz, the book Lightning, and I'll cover that one second. Now, the first one that came to mind is a series by the author Warren Norwood. You can't find it on Amazon, but you can find two copies on Thrift Books at the time of this recording, one copy of each of the first two in the trilogy of books, Time Police Vanished, Time Police Trapped, and Time Police Stranded. They're the three titles of his books. And 1988, 1989. So they're a few years old. You won't find them brand new on Amazon or even a Kindle. Your library might have them, otherwise try Thrift Books. Now, the premise of that story is simply this. At some point in the future, time travel has been discovered. So time police are made to guard over the time travel. A particular corrupt person uses the time police as his private history assassins. So let's say you had a competitor who might want to oust your position and take over, and they are very strong, a strong competitor. Send your time police hit squad back in time and take out their great-great-great-great-grandfather or something like it. And that way they won't ever exist. If someone else pops up that you need to deal with, instead of just dealing with them here and the now, you send your secret hit squad time police back. They take out the relative before they're even born, and there you go. You don't have an enemy. So this is a premise that's covered in that particular book, and it's covered a little bit in the 1994 movie Time Cop, which you can probably find on YouTube somewhere if you actually have a look for it. Now, the other book it reminded me of in this case because we don't know where this woman's coming from and she's talking about the future as well, was the book Lightning by Dean Koontz. Now, I'm going to have some spoilers here, so if you've not read the book and you do want to read the book, then I guess now's a really good time to not read or not continue watching. But if you're happy to hear some spoilers, and I'm not going to spoil every little thing because it's hundreds of pages long and I can't cover that in a video that's only a few minutes long. But the premise of that is really simply this. Germany in World War II discovered time travel. They were able to build a time machine. Now, the machine just operates according to its own abilities. They did not program anything into it. Just the nature of time travel will not allow certain things to happen they've tried to go beyond that, but they cannot. So the first thing that this time machine won't let anyone do is go back in time, because you can't go to a point in time before the machine existed. And the machine does this all by itself. They never programmed it in. The time travel aspect of the world, of the universe or whatever, won't allow that to happen. The other one is that when you use the machine, whether you're at your destination, your time destination for an hour, a day, a week, a month, 6 months, 3 months, a year, and then come back, it doesn't matter how long you're away at your time destination, only 11 minutes will have passed. And it's always 11 minutes. So if you leave 11 minutes later, you will reappear if you're coming back. If you're not coming back, then you won't reappear after 11 minutes, either meaning you're dead or you've decided to stay there and live out until your natural time has ended. And that is, you're not coming back. So, of course, the Germans use this in a similar fashion to Tom Cruise's movie, where they lose a battle. Crew goes forward in time, sees that Germany's lost the war, finds out the information that they need to win the battle, brings it back. They win the battle. Crew goes forward in time, finds out Germany still lost the war, finds out the next battle, brings that information back, and so on and so forth. So basically Germany is using this, like in the Tom Cruise movie, to make sure that they win these particular battles. So at each step of the way. Now what happens is one of the guys goes in forward and he sees an author that he likes. He enjoys the author and he feels that it's a little bit unfair that the author is in a wheelchair. And he finds out when they ended up in the wheelchair. So just on his own time, when there's no one about, he just goes forward in time and he tries to rectify the author being in the wheelchair. Now, the first time happens when she was born. An intoxicated doctor tried to deliver her, did something to her back, and she ended up in the wheelchair from birth. So he rectifies that. Another time, she's in a shop. So she's older, let's say a fruit and vegetable shop. A robber comes in, a stray bullet hits her in the back. She ends up in a wheelchair. So he's done it. So he rectifies the birth problem, comes back, goes forward in time and sees that the author's still in the wheelchair. Finds out how it happened. Oh, it happened from a burglary gone wrong. Comes back, goes to the time of the burglary, stops the burglar from shooting the gun, thinks he saves her, comes back, goes forward in time to see if she's in a wheelchair still, so on and so forth. Now, the baddies, his other crew members, find out what he's doing. Now, this raises a very interesting point. The machine in the book keeps a log, so they're able to keep a log. They're able to check what he's doing in his private times. They hadn't done this before. So even though he might have been doing this for months, when they discover it, they go through the log, they can send someone back just to observe what he's doing. So it gets a little bit crossed over. But of course, the thing that it raises is this. If you don't know that you're being followed by your team and you swipe a credit card, the credit card swipe goes into data, right? they have sent someone forward in time to all the data centers and banks. So as soon as that data blip appears, someone's just scouring through the historical records, right? And it's like, oh, look at that. They used a credit card at this location at this time. They travel back in time, pass on the information, then send a crew to that exact location and time where you used the credit card. Now, of course, the beautiful thing about the time machine, as well as not letting you go back, it won't allow you to travel forward in time and stay for a week and come back, and then travel forward in time to the same week, and there could be a likelihood of you bumping into yourself. So the machine's parameters itself won't let you do that, which is very, very interesting. So that's the premise of Dean Koontz's books, Lightning, if you want to get that to see how he handles time paradoxes and things like that. But this particular trailer, I'm looking forward to seeing this movie. It's a movie. If it was a series, I wouldn't bother with a series, but for a little low budget Netflix film, it looks entertaining. Hopefully it ends up on YouTube or somewhere viewable online outside of Netflix, because I don't have US Netflix. Australian Netflix is a little bit different to United States Netflix. And I could get to see it that way. But otherwise, this looks like something that I would enjoy, and it reminded me of those two books. One was the Time Police series from Warren Norwood, and one is the book Lightning by Dean Koontz. Anyway, that's all I've got for you this time. Now it's your turn to let me know what you think. Is this something that you would enjoy watching, do you think, or movies of this nature just hold no interest in you because they're not superhero movies or space sci-fi movies or just whatever else? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and until next time, thanks for watching.